So what's it like driving the new 2024 Model 3 Tesla? Well, let's go for a ride. I'm going to show you from start to finish. First of all, it locks automatically when you walk away after a few seconds. So to get in, and this is the way I would suggest doing it, have it linked to your phone via Bluetooth. You walk up, you push in on the bigger part of the door handle. The other side comes out, and then you just pull, and the door is electronic, so it just opens up. Pretty darn simple. Now, once on the inside, it's pretty darn easy. Put your foot on the brake, and the car is ready to go. It's just that simple. Now, to put it into gear, you want to go ahead and swipe down on the screen. That's the new setup, and you can see all of the camera and all that stuff. That's it. Punch the gas. Well, don't punch the gas, but push on the gas. And as you can see, we're easily going to glide out of the garage. Pretty darn simple. Now, to go into drive, just swipe the car up to the top, and you're ready to roll. Pretty simple. Now, the thing that has always amazed me about the Tesla, I've driven a couple others before this one, or just EVs in general, is the feeling that you get when you drive. They are just so smooth. It really is quite amazing to me. It feels like you're gliding while you're driving around. I love that. Nice power too. It picks up, of course, right away. You don't have any lag or any throttle problems because it is run by an electric motor. So as soon as you hit the accelerator, not the gas pedal, you go. Pretty darn cool. Now, one of the strangest things, or one of the different things to get used to, are the turn signals. They, of course, are two buttons on the steering wheel. Top is to turn right, bottom is to turn left. You just push the button. It starts flashing, and on the screen you get a nice view of where you're going. I really like that. And after you make the turn, it just automatically shuts off. No stalks on the wheel, nothing to grab or pull or anything like that. I think that's probably going to be the most polarizing thing about the new Tesla, particularly the Model 3, is that you have no stalks to grab onto, nothing. Everything is either controlled by buttons or roller balls on the steering wheel or icons on the screen beside you. Not a big deal. I've already almost gotten used to it myself, but nonetheless, it certainly is a different way to drive the car. Now, the other thing to get used to, I think, are the brakes, the regenerative charging brakes. As soon as you let off on the gas pedal, and even before really, it really gives you a pull to stop. It wants to slow down and stop because that's what it's designed to do after all. And I do like that feature. I think it's pretty neat, and once you get used to it and you drive around with it for a while, you kind of really start to rely on it as far as braking goes. I do it all the time now. Instead of hitting the brake right away when I'm pulling up to a stoplight or a stop sign, I just let the car take care of it with its regenerative braking feature. It is pretty darn cool, I think, but something to get used to after a while. Now, as far as the ride itself, I mean, 0 to 60 time in this thing, not that it's a race car, but it is fast. It's I believe 5.8 seconds. So it is a sub 6 second 0 to 60 car. And that's something that I always look for or use as a gauge to kind of determine how quick, how fast a car is going to be. Anything that is below 6 seconds is pretty darn good. Of course, there are other versions out there that are quicker. If you get the Model 3 with the all-wheel drive, this one is rear-wheel drive, then it's even faster. I believe it's around 4.8 seconds, something like that. Really, really quick. But this car is fast nonetheless, and you're certainly going to get that charge when you hit the gas, no pun intended. And I say gas, I mean accelerator. That makes it fun to drive. As far as, I got to talk about steering a little bit. The steering on this car is really tight. And you can really feel it when you're at a stop. Let's say you're backing up and you want to reposition the car or something. You really can feel the stiffer steering in the car. I like it. I think it's nice. It gives you a lot of feedback when you're driving down the road because it is so stiff and there's not a lot of loosey-goosey play on the road. Something I don't like, particularly with steering myself. Now, as far as comfort goes, we have to talk about ride quality and comfort because this is a pretty heavy car for its size. I mean, I believe it's over 4,000 pounds because you're sitting on top of a battery pack, right? It rides really, really smooth. When you combine the performance of the electric motors with the way the car is set up from a suspension standpoint, it is awesome. It just glides along, handles the bumps well, and it gives you a really comfortable ride. The seats themselves, very comfortable too. Easy to get the position that you like or the position that you want. No extra back strain or under the thigh strain. By the way, as I'm looking at my leg, you may notice, if you can see in the camera, these two circuit boards here. They have nothing to do with the Tesla. They're actually garage and gate openers that I've done mods and things with in other cars. So don't think that's part of the Tesla. They are sitting on top of the charging areas for cell phones, by the way. So you do have dual charging areas for you and your passenger if anybody wants to charge the phone. Let's talk about the responsiveness of the screen. Because there are so many things that you can control with the screen, it's important that when you touch it or scroll it, that it does what you want it to do immediately, right? And it does that. I think I have read that Tesla has the best screen as far as reactivity and function goes in the market. And I would have to agree with that. It really reminds me of an iPad. And I'm sure Tesla probably uses a lot of the same technology in this screen. I mean, you know how responsive an iPad is, right? So why reinvent the wheel? Why not just use what you have? And they've done an excellent job. Nice, crisp, and clear. The cameras are easy to see. If you notice over here, and hopefully my camera is good enough to pick up the clarity of this screen, you can see everything. And by the way, I love this function that I can activate the cameras while I'm driving and see what's around me if I want to. Lastly, from a charging standpoint, something I want to mention that wasn't clear to me when I bought this car. First of all, Tesla doesn't give you anything, at least not at this trim level. I didn't get a way to plug it in. I had to buy a $250 home charging. They call it a mobile kit, I believe. You have another option, and that is the wall charger. The wall charger, I think, runs about 450 bucks. Now, the difference, the mobile charger comes with an adapter that you can plug into a 220 volt plug or a 30 amp plug. That will work just fine. You really don't need the wall charger. Although the wall charger, I believe, is 50 amp. So of course, it's going to charge the car quicker than the mobile charger would. But if you're bringing the car home at night, you're plugging it in immediately, and you're going to let it set overnight to charge, you should be fine. And there's really no need to go ahead and pick up that wall charger. Plus, you have to have an electrician come and install that. You actually have to do that for both, unless you're lucky enough to have a 220 volt outlet in your garage. But just more costly because of the install and the charger itself. $450 versus $250. Anyway, I just wanted to get on, kind of bring you guys with me, give you a little bit of the Tesla Model 3 driving experience. I love this car. I think it's awesome, and I particularly love the redesign or the refresh. They changed the appearance of the car, and I think it was really needed. What they've done by doing that is attract people like me who had no interest in the previous version because I just thought it was really kind of ugly. I really didn't care for it much. This car, sporty looking, I love it. It's awesome. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know if you're considering a Tesla or maybe you have one. What do you think of them, particularly if you have one? I'd just be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.